Voice of Truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesianicristo.
All right, and welcome back, everybody, and Happy New Year! Welcome to the year of 2026. What a time to be alive. And thank you so much for tuning in. You're listening to Valley Grown, presented by INCRadio Central Valley. And tonight, we are officially kicking off Season 2. Whether you're new here, have listened before, or is a seasoned veteran here on our show, we thank you so much for all of the support. I am your host, Jill San Antonio, and I'm coming to you live from the 805 of Santa Maria, California. I am not alone. I have my beautiful co-hosts with me. We have Melanie, Melvi, and Caitlin. So if you can all come off mute and say hi to our lovely audience tonight. And welcome to Season 2, everybody.
Hello, everyone. Thank you again for joining us tonight. We're looking forward to Season 2.
Amazing. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you again for joining Valley Grown. We're so excited for Season 2, and Happy New Year, everybody.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for being here. Happy New Year, and welcome back to Season 2 of Valley Grown. We can't wait for everything that we have in store for you. And of course, we have all of us back here, so hopefully you can stay tuned. And don't forget to leave your comments, please. Happy New Year again. All right, back to you, Jill.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Caitlin. Thank you, Melvi. Thank you, Melanie. So I'm super excited because not only are we going to be learning from our panelists and, ourselves and here on the show, but I'm excited to hear and listen and learn from you all as well. So I invite you all to, write your thoughts down because this is not just going to be a show where we're talking. This is going to be practical application. This is going to be an ongoing thing. And I'm so excited to dive into it. The reason why is because this season, right? We had last season. Now we're stepping into this new season, new year. And it's called branching out. And if you're stepping into this new chapter, like I said, new mindset, new version of yourself, you're in the right place. So before we talk about, growth, living up to our name of Valley Growth on the outside, we have to start with what's underneath us, right? The root. And that is what our topic is, which is called communication of the root. So we always hear, new year, new me, and we have all these goals and we want to achieve. In order to actually grow into those versions of ourselves, we have to get deep into identifying what is actually hindering our growth. The root represents our foundation, how we communicate with others, and how we communicate with ourselves. So the very first thing that we're going to do, and I know in our last season we started out with a game, but this time we're going to do a little something differently. So we're going to go straight into our field day. So if we can have our field day bumper, Kuyatek. Perfect. Thank you so much. So I spoke a lot in our introduction. So in this section, I want to hear from our panelists. So this is going to be called a root check-in. Now, it's not a game. So it's more of like identifying what are those things, what is our starting point, right? We all have our goals and what we want to achieve in this year. But in order to achieve those goals, it's like a GPS navigation. We have to have a starting point. We know what that end point is, but where are we starting? How are we going to get there? What are those directions we're going to take? So in order to identify and get to those goals, we have to really, understand those 5 pillars: mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and financially. So mentally, we're going to start there. We're just going to jump right into it. I want to ask our panelists here, what is one, and actually our live Vine chat as well, whether you're listening live or, this is playback and you're hearing this again, type in your comments and your thoughts. And the reason why I say that, not because we want to know, not only do we want to know what you want to grow and you achieve this year, but you have a higher probability of actually achieving those when you write it down. So question number 1, what is one mindset you're intentionally working on to strengthen this season? Let's hear it.
For me,
Yeah, go.
I was like,
I
wait a
was
second.
waiting
girl.
for her first,
Go
okay?
first.
Because I always want to make sure my thoughts are out there first because I don't want anybody taking my words. I'm kidding. One of the things I want to strengthen is control and discipline. Because sometimes we always think we're going to get something done, but sometimes it's like, oh, you know what? I'm probably going to just like do a little let me turn on TV versus, if I told myself I'm going to do something, I have to be really disciplined. So just that thought of being more disciplined and also taking control of your thoughts, because sometimes I really don't have they call it the, quote unquote poker face. Whatever's in my mind, it kind of shows in my face. And so it's hard to, if I have to make sure my thoughts are always clean, peaceful. It doesn't matter what others may say. If I take it negatively, I have to be able to just think of it, process it, but at the same time be able to just say that, this is what they're saying, take it into consideration, and then after that, just, process it and be able to just respond in the most positive way, whether you agree to disagree, and also be able to accept more things. Sometimes, there are things that we may not agree with, but being able to just, like what I was saying earlier, really taking control of our thoughts. That's my response.
And I'm so glad you mentioned that, because a lot of times our habits, it's not that, we respond in a way externally, in a way that we are not very proud of, but it's also identifying what are those habits that are hindering us, right? And like we want to be more disciplined, but what does our environment look like? How can we be better in achieving those? So thank you for sharing that. What about you, either Caitlin or Melvi?
I think for me, one mindset that I'm trying my best to work on, and I've always trying to work on this. It's just having a growth mindset instead of having a fixed mindset. I'm learning to view challenges as opportunities to learn rather than, it's like immediate obstacle or immediate failure, instead of thinking that like, oh, I can't do this. It's just, I can't do this yet. So this 2026, I'm just trying to remind myself that growth comes from a lot of effort, comes a lot from reflection, and every day is just an experience to learn from rather than something to regret, if that makes any sense.
Yes, embracing where you're at. Absolutely. And I like the fact that you ended that statement with yet. Like, I'm not here yet. I'm not there, but I will.
Yes.
I don't know when, but it's coming. What about you, Melody?
No wonder why Melanie always wants to go first. Now they took the words out of my mouth, both of them. Self-discipline and challenges, seeing obstacles as challenges as I continuously work that. That's actually on my journal. And other than that, the one thing that I'm also working on is, because like Melanie, I wear my emotions on my sleeve. And so when I'm upset, people can see it. So the one thing that I really want to change within me is be able to regulate my emotions. That's number one, because once I'm able to take control of my emotions, I can better respond in various situations, especially during confrontations or misunderstandings, in a very calm and logical manner. And number two, of course, once you have the self-discipline, you see obstacles as challenges, and also seeing negative things and turning it into positive things. And instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Why does this things keep happening to me? I would tell myself, what about you just think, how can I learn from this?
Yes.
So yeah, that's it right there. All of what they said and what I just added on. I've
love
been working on that. Yeah, I've been working on what both of them said and just adding on every year and checking off my list because it's hard sometimes when your brain and your heart battle together. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
That
like,
part.
yeah.
Yes, and I'm so glad that we actually started there because this is a time I'm really glad that we're all being very vulnerable and being, able to identify, like figure out what's going on down there because we know it, but then we don't really actually think about it. So
Mhm.
that's where that's awareness right now. That's where the
Mhm.
growth starts because in order to, we can't just keep brushing it off and then keep moving because it's going to pop up eventually, right? It's like that root. We gotta nurture it. We gotta make sure it's good for it to blossom. So thank you all. And I invite all of our viewers as well. Write down, these things as your opinions, your thoughts, grow with us. We want to hear from you as well. So let's move into emotionally. So how would you like to respond better to challenges in the future?
I would actually like to go first for this one. I think for me,
Go for it, Caitlin.
just because I kind of mentioned in my previous answer or response that I want to view challenges as a learning experience rather than an obstacle. So just in general, from an emotional standpoint, I would just like to respond to challenges from a better standpoint. I want to respond with more grace and more patience. So instead of just being in a way self-critical on the way I approach things or handle things, I would like to just, like I mentioned, just give myself more grace this year when it comes to facing challenges, just because something that I noticed last year as I reflected on last year, 2025, I was very self-critical of myself, just saying like, oh, I did this because I was mad. I did this because I was angry. I was sad. But you know what? At the end of the day, we're all just doing our best. And I know I can just handle things as long as I ground myself and I'm in tune with what I'm feeling.
100%. Yeah. And I totally agree with you. And I think a lot of people can also resonate with that as well and relate to. So thank you for sharing. And I feel you mentioned something that really, that reminded me of actual growth because we do go into seasons and it's, we continue to shed different things and we grow into different versions of ourselves. So yes, thank you, Caitlin.
I like what Caitlin said about, responding with grace. So that's one of the things that I definitely am working on, being calm and collected in any situation. It's kind of like when things are all kind of coming down behind you, but you're still able to say, this is what we're going to do. And also becoming more resilient. That's something that I think we can continue to grow. We can continue to adapt, especially when things come at us. So it's not always, always having that ability to just step back, think about the situation and responding like what Caitlin said with grace and being calm and collected no matter what the situation is. That's what I want to work on.
100%. Not avoiding the emotion, but how we can grow. What about you, Mindy?
Here we go again. I got to think of another answer.
No.
You go first next time, promise.
You can go first, okay?
No, you're not alone. We're all thing.
This is why I'm so patient. I'm so calm and collected and just wait and listen attentively, just like season 1, right? I got to learn. I have to grow from every challenges that we go through, whether if it's personal or even with our shows. And the one thing that I see challenges of right now is I consider them as opportunities. And I've mentioned this before that the more difficult a person is, the more challenged I am to pursue that person, especially if it's a coworker or somebody like a friend or a loved one. It's because I'm all about communication, and communication helps us not only to learn from ourselves, but to grow along with others. And deep within us, once we have that innate ability to continue improving, we don't only improve our relationships with others, but also our attitude towards them. So that's why I see challenges as opportunities now, no longer an obstacle or hindrances, like what Caitlin mentioned. And so what Melanie said, the minute you have that control, remember, we can control ourselves, but the outside factors, we can't. So therefore, again, bottom line, it's a matter of choice. What are your choices? Do you want to do the right thing, or do you want to do the wrong thing? Do you want to improve and progress, or do you want to regress? So again, it's a matter of choice.
You know, I really love this show because I'm learning so much from you here, and we just started. Like,
Okay, I want to know, how about you, Jill?
Right?
I want to hear from you too. I know you're the host tonight, but I'm also curious about mentally and emotionally. I want you to share with us.
I love hosting because I love showcasing other people. But you're right. I need to take matters into my. You're right. So mentally, one thing that I am working on and continue to reaffirm to myself is that I am on my own timeline. I'm not on anybody else's timeline. You know, there nowadays, especially in this generation, it's so easy to like see something like, oh, you know, but then, you know, you just got to do the little things, get better, do that 1%, get 1% better each day, put in the work little by little, and it's going to come. Your time will come. And, or in the right time at the right place. And I totally embrace that, and not having to feel pressure to be able to do or things or achieve things that I don't really want to do. So that's my mental, for emotional, as we all know, it's New Year's. I hosted New Year's with my family, and I am the youngest of 4 kids, and they all have 2 kids each, 3 boys, 3 girls. And woo, if you ever wondered why I'm not married with no kids, like that is fun. For me, it's responding like everybody said here, and this is why I love this show, because we're all thinking it the same. We all have the same mindset, and we all want to achieve the same things. I want to be able to take a step back, take a breather, and that's exactly what I did while the kids were running around and everything. I went for a little walk, and and then came back, and everything was all good. So yeah. So yes, growth isn't just about avoiding the emotion. It's about learning how to respond with intention. So moving on to spiritually, which this one's my favorite one. I'm so excited. So how do you all, and I mean our panelists and Vine Chats and everybody listening here, how do you see yourself growing closer to your faith?
Melvi can go first.
Yes.
I was looking at the chat in the
I
comment
was like, just want to go first this time.
When we have faith, we believe. And when we believe, we don't question and we don't doubt God's abilities and what he can do for each one of us. Therefore, in everything that I do in my life, I pass it all to him, and he'll take care of the rest. That's why they say, there's a saying, let go and let God.
Yes.
Yep. And that's it. Simple answer.
I definitely agree with you, Melvi. And it's the same thought of being able to continue to have that trust. And in order to do that, always having that communication constantly with God. So, of course, we have prayer, and that's what our faith teaches us. And that's also something that I want to continue to teach, not just for myself, but also for my family, especially my kids. So that's one thing that I'm continuing to teach and at the same time apply in my life.
Love it. I love it.
I think for me, how I see myself being closer to faith, I think a great way to stay in touch with my faith is sharing it, whether it's sending links to my friends about like Bible verses or sharing content from Valley Grown with others. It helps me stay connected. It allows me to communicate with others about my faith. So sharing my faith allows me to reflect on what I believe in, start meaningful conversations, and how I can communicate my way, talking about my faith, encourage others, which in a way, in turn, strengthens my relationship with Almighty God. So, yeah.
100%. I agree with all of you. And yes, Caitlin, that is one thing that I truly, is definitely on my goal list. I love going to Bible studies. So not a lot of people, or not a lot of but I love going to Bible studies every single week and every night. And one of the things that I'm trying to arm myself is being able to share my faith, anywhere and everywhere that I go. So that is definitely something that I'm also looking forward to doing as well. So moving on to physically, I know that this one is a very common one. You know, a lot of people have this on their list, quote unquote resolutions. Like I want to lose weight, I want to get in better shape. You know, all these things. So, what is one habit? Not just what is your goal? What is one habit that you want to build to better support your energy and your health? Right? Because a lot of times we can come up with a lot of excuses of like, oh, I don't have time. But like, what is it that's really hindering you being able to achieve that goal, or not even just achieve that goal, but to take that next step?
I want to be able to sleep more.
That is important. Sleep is important. That's
because I think sleeping definitely helps you get more energy. I know we live busy lives, but I think that's one of the things that we really have to balance. I do wake up a little bit earlier. My body's already in that time zone where I will have to wake myself up because it's like I don't even need an alarm clock. I just wake up. But at the same time, I really want to be able to choose better and healthier foods as well. There's so many, just this last recent years, we have so much food and just to celebrate the end of the year. But at the same time, I think it's more in moderation. And I remember, Jill, you're saying something about that in our last season about, yes, we don't have to really restrict ourselves, but also just being able to appreciate food and just eat it in moderation to where you don't feel like you've overeaten to where it may cause you some, health risks. So that's what thing I'm still trying to also work on, and I will continue to work on this.
Absolutely. And now, and you're so right. You mentioned sleep, which is very important, and also food. If you really think about it, and yes, balance. I'm all about balance because I love my rice and I love my sugar and I love my desserts. That is something I just can't. Like, it's a drink. They're turning all that. But it's just eating in moderation. So if you think about it, what is a habit that you can improve? For example, I also want to improve sleep. Maybe it's just putting my phone down a little bit earlier and go to sleep. Or if I want to get up earlier and go for a run or walk or workout, which I'm not a morning person and do that. But if I wanted to, I'd probably leave my clothes like the night before. That way I'm not scrambling. So yes. Or having getting, if you drink Coke, like maybe getting a Coke Zero and then maybe not, just thing. That's a win. It's a win.
I think for me, for my health, I mentioned this so many times, but in the mornings I like to walk with my dad. But as of recently, because of the colder season, it's just a little bit harder to push myself to wake up in the morning. And so like my average steps kind of hit a plateau these past couple of weeks. So I hope this year I hope to walk a lot more, keep moving a lot more. And also I've just been noticing this. I notice when I get my food, when I'm getting ready to eat my breakfast, lunch, dinner, I always need to have YouTube on. And I want to try to stop doing that because I notice when I'm like watching a movie or watching like a video and I'm eating, I'm like mindlessly eating and I'm not really like savoring it. And so I eat more than what I feel like eating, if that makes any sense. So just being like present and savoring food instead of just like watching a YouTube video and eating my spaghetti. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to improve on in terms of like my health and mindfulness. So yeah.
I definitely resonate with that because we had that all over my house yesterday. And every time I walk by the counter, I just eat one. I'm like, I didn't even want it, but here I am just eating it already because it's there and it's available. So yeah. How about you, Melvie?
Oh dear, you guys have mentioned so many things. So first, I did tell you I started journalizing, and instead of not only am I doing the to-do list, but also to be list, and everything that you have talked about, we have talked about so far, it's on there, Jill. So thank you for the reminder. So the first thing that I do, or I have been actually doing, hopefully this year it'll be more consistent. So when I can't work out, when I'm washing the dishes, when I'm doing laundry, when I'm folding clothes, I'm either squatting, raising my calves, raising my heels, or even sometimes when I'm singing or listening to music. I do work out while I'm washing the dishes. And even in the shower, you find me, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing something. In other words, my body is like, get moving, Melvie, no matter what. So sometimes when I'm folding my clothes, I'm actually squatting. I'm using my thighs to fold the clothes and then put it to the next one. But it's like arm's length. So whatever I can find, since I don't have time to work out, or I'm too tired, I would go ahead and do that when I'm doing chores. And at work, you see, I used to walk, but Caitlin said the weather has been awful. It's been raining. It's been cold. I've gotten sick. I don't want to get sick again. So what I've been doing is I instead use that, put my phone down and set it for a timer for 15 minutes. I would actually take a nap. I love my naps now. Before, I cannot nap. Forget it. I would rather play outside. And then what else? With food, I would, just like my mom taught us, you got to have your greens, your vegetables, and fruits. I didn't like kiwi before, but the minute I found out the benefits, I started liking kiwi. So I would always have it. Kiwi, bananas, apples, grapes, fruits, more fruits, and less chips. So that's what I've been doing. And more water and healthy drinks and less soda. So yep, that's what I've been doing.
I love that for you. That is like music to my ears. You find ways. Like I can't get to the gym, but it's moving your body. And I always encourage people, just move your body because you need that blood flow to go. Whatever it is, just stretch. And I listened this onto a podcast as well. It's those cues, it's those habits, because that cue is going to lead to another cue and to another cue. And you don't know what those next cues are going to be like. And then later on, it's like, oh man, like my lifestyle is now pretty healthy. And then you start to subconsciously reject like the unhealthy foods because you're just so used to those cues that you're building up. So yes, love that for you.
Yeah, even in parking, I park far. And when I'm sitting in the couch, when I know I'm going to binge watch, I'll put the little weights next to me and I'm doing like this when I'm watching.
Yes.
I love that. Whatever I can find, I'm like, okay, we got to do this. Come on, Melvie, you're not getting any younger. You got to keep it. So I'm training my brain to be more trainable.
You're right. And you know what? That is the whole point of this show, because I wanted to get to the root of our brains. What's deep in there? What's really like, what's that negativity that's holding us back? Maybe there's just like a negative thought or grudge, maybe that we're holding, but, just let it go. Like Frozen, just let it go and move on. That is just your way. This is a brand new way of just, stepping into that new version of yourself. And you can't really do that if there's something really holding you back. So I love that for you all.
Yes.
So the last one is financially, of course. And it's not about, what we typically think about financial, but what is financial growth, stability? And this is so different for everybody, right? For me, even just like I mentioned, those 1% progression each day. For me, it's not buying so much Amazon, packages. The less boxes at my house, the better. And that is just something that does add up. Unfortunately, what you don't live up to your goals, you live down to your system. So I need to have a better system of identifying my financials, of no more Amazon and all that.
That's my weakness.
Amazon has the best stuff.
I'm not sponsored. So I wish I was. Yes. What about you all?
For me,
I have go ahead.
Go ahead.
It could be either savings, learning about investments, starting a business. What does this next chapter financially look for you all?
One of the habits that I'm trying to practice is because, when you go to like stores, you see things and you're like, ooh, I might need this. I'm going to need this, even though you don't really need it. So just identifying exactly what is want versus needs. So what I've been doing is I start, okay, let's go ahead and I would like this one. I would like this one. And then at the end, towards when you're about to go to the to the cashier. That's when you're like, okay, let me just double check which one do I really need and which one do I really will open by the time I get home. So if it's not something I know that I'm gonna open the minute I get home, okay, we need to put that back. We're not gonna need that. We're gonna move forward with that. And then after that, I feel better because I didn't buy all the things that I just wanted. I just bought what exactly I needed. And then just have a little bit of, money set aside for something that you really want, something that you will appreciate, not just something that you just buy just so that to have it and then not even use it in a week or so.
Mm-hmm. That part. I feel like, because when I'm in the store, especially my favorite store, Target, not sponsored, I like go in with my cart and I'm like, oh, so I have like 10 different things that weren't even on my list. Right. And so like what Melanie says, like I like look at myself and I'm like, okay, I'm probably not going to use this because when I go into the stores, like I'm just a girl. Like I love buying hair stuff. I love buying accessories or just like looking at accessories and makeup and clothes. But I'm just trying to like have that self-control, like Melanie said, and just put back the things that I don't really need, just the things that, serve me, that actually are helpful. But in terms of like a different approach to financial growth, I actually wanted to share this with you all. I feel like this question is especially timely because in a few weeks, I'll actually be starting a new job. And yeah, it aligns.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. It aligns with what I study. And I feel like that's really validating and affirming. And it represents not just my financial stability as a whole, but also the ability to support myself more confidently. And I'm stepping into a line of work that reflects my goals and my education. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you all. Job reveal.
Yes, congratulations. Happy New Year. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I love what they both mentioned, and you too, Jill. You know what I started doing ever since I took accounting is I started using spreadsheets to keep everything in place, to know what I have and what I don't have. And I get paid once a month. When I first started my job, it was very hard to budget. Very, very hard. So what I do now is once I get that in, everything is paid and whatever's left is what I work with. I also have not sponsored Amazon cart, save, heart. Sometimes I would just say, maybe my sisters can get this for me instead. When my birthday's coming up, I got a request, right? And then I started adding them and I would put them on my spreadsheet. I'm like, ooh, can't afford them. Sorry, Melvie. Better luck next time. You got to save more to buy more. And then what I also started doing is I would take a photo instead of making a list, because sometimes the list doesn't work for me, just like Caitlin. And stores, by the way, everybody knows this, everything is strategically placed.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to be mindful of our impulse purchases, right? So anyway, I started taking pictures of what I have. So every time I go to the store, Melva, do you really need this? So I would look at the photo. No, I don't. And then I would take a photo of my fridge, freezer. Will this fit? Do you even really need this? Do you need more of this? Come on now, it's not even in your budget. Are you really willing to sacrifice? So, my mind and my heart are in battle. So at the end of the day, I would definitely listen to my instinct and my brain because I don't want to be on the negative side of the spectrum. So, because like I said, when you get paid once a month, you're like, I got 1 week more to go and I gotta stretch it out. So yes,
I'm not leaving my house.
That's what I've been doing. So everything is accounted for. So I already know the leverage or the balance I have at the end of all minus. And then I look at the balance. I'm like, okay, this is what I got to work with. So therefore, I am compelled to now be very, again, self-discipline, not to get carried away.
And good for you. Like it's that awareness. Like sometimes it's, when we don't do that and we're not like, doing the spreadsheet, it's like what you see, you don't know. So
you can just keep swiping and you don't know because you're like, well, I keep tabs every day. I keep track of it every single day. I don't go. Yeah, I don't do it. I don't let it go for a week. I let it go by day.
You know, you reminded me of something, and that is exactly, again, why I love this topic and this episode and the show, because we're talking about things that we don't want to do. It's like having those, tough conversations that we don't want to do. Now we're talking about the habits that a lot of times we don't want to do, but we just got to do it. And in order to achieve our goals, that's what it takes. So, yes, well, thank you. So, when we nurture our thoughts, to wrap up, our emotions, bodies, spirit, our finances, we create clarity. So, and clarity is what allows us to communicate with confidence, honesty, and intention on the outside. So I think this is a perfect time to hear from our grapevine chat, because, we've all been discussing here, and I want to hear, I'm so keen to hearing what everybody else is saying in there, who's tuned in. So Melanie or Kuitek, if you can please play our bumper for the grapevine.
Okay, so I'm using my computer, so it's a little bit bigger. I may not need my glasses, but we'll let you know.
I was waiting for you. When she put on the glasses that one time, I started laughing so bad. I was like, oh, I have to put her glasses on.
Special guest
All
today.
right, so it became a little bit more strategic today. So we want to thank those who are joining us tonight, and thank you so much for again being here with us, joining us for season 2. We want to do a shout out to all those who are joining us. That's including Danny Aglipai. We also have Roel David saying Happy New Year, brethren. Mario Oka, always joining us. Thank you so much for always being here, supporting us. Also, William Dorsey, Lauren Colling is also joining us, and they're all greeting from their district and their locals. We also have Mbong Lehman, and Veronica De La Rosa is also here. Rumel Bautista as well. And Brother Isaias, our district minister, greeting Happy New Year to all. May our Almighty God bless and keep us safe always. Thank you, Isaias. We also have Janice Salvador from Philippines. We also have Teresa Soriano and Brother Manny Hatulan. Greetings to all the brethren in Central Valley, California. Thank you, Kamani. We also have Jenna, also Aiko de Guzman from Riverbank. We also have Becky Zook, Santa Maria. Kamani said don't eat too much. We'll try. That's our New Year resolution. We also have Louis Angeles and HS San Antonio saying happy viewing from Santa Maria. We also have, let's see here, Sister Anna Heimbach from Orosi. And, all right, and then Mani Hatulan for finance. Always observe Christian way of budgeting. Set aside first our what we need for God's glory. Definitely. That's always what we need to do. And also Edwin Racadio is also watching from Limor. Thank you so much for joining us. And please continue to keep up with the comments. We really love to hear from you. Thank you. Back to you, Jill.
Amazing. And thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you for all of those insights and all the greetings, and Happy New Year to everybody. So in this last portion, we are going to discuss, with the time, 45 minutes goes by really fast. With the 5 minutes that we have, we've identified our roots. Now it's that call to action, right? So we definitely won't have enough time, but if there's anything mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially, let's start with mentally. How does mental clarity affect how you listen and respond instead of react?
I think mentally, when my mind is clear, I'm able to be present in conversations. I am able to catch the little things that people say, notice how they are feeling, and actually respond in a way that matters. When my brain has like mental fog or I'm having an off day, even the simplest conversations, I could feel I don't feel like myself, and I can't really understand others as well. So clarity makes me show up fully. And as I said, it allows me to be fully present, be a deliberate and active listener, and respond in a way that shows that I'm really listening.
Yeah, I love it. Absolutely. You're right. And I love that because I feel like we all have hidden talents, and we're not able to fully showcase that unless we are good inside, right? If we respond in a way, we don't want that person to remember us by that. Because that's not us. That's not our character. So yes, absolutely.
Yeah, for me, mental clarity is being able to make the right decisions, especially when it comes to our families, those close to us, always thinking what is the best thing to do in order to move forward in a much positive way.
Absolutely.
They both said the same. Well, what I wanted to say, they both said it already. But what I can add, once again, everybody, we think alike. This is a fun group right here. Is once we have that mental clarity, we have the emotional awareness and the situational awareness. And when we have that in every conversation and in every situation we're remembered in a good way, that we're a good person with good intent and good character.
That part.
Yes.
And I think we have to be the ones, to become a better version of yourself. It's not just within ourselves, but also being able to transpire that to others. If you can influence others to become better version of themselves, I think that's a deeper way of really stabilizing all these 5 pillars that we're talking about.
Well, absolutely. Spot on. So I do want to ask as a last question, what role does purpose or alignment play in how we speak our truth?
That's a good.
Transparent and having that integrity for sure for me.
When you have a purpose in life, it's what propels you to do the right actions. And when we have the right actions, that means we have faith. And we will always stand by that, rooted by that, and we'll continue to cultivate it and hold on to it. And it will reflect in ourselves towards others.
And I think that's the best thing, is having the faith is definitely the best route to have for all of us, especially, in what we do.
Yeah, when we guide our lives by faith, we put our faith at the forefront of who we are and in our lives. It makes you clear on your purpose and your values. And because of that, speaking your truth or speaking my truth, it feels natural. It helps you share your faith honestly and confidently. And it allows your words and the way you present yourself to reflect who you really are instead of what others want to see you, if that makes any sense. So just putting your faith before everything else.
100%. And that is exactly why I wanted this to be the last question, because it all ties in to our roots. That's where it all comes from. Our root is our purpose and our faith. And that's what holds it all together. When everything else is failing us, or we feel like we have nothing else or no one else to fall back on, it's our faith that really keeps us grounded in that root. And that is what allows us to ultimately shine out into the world externally. So in order to really, have that shine outside, I really wanted us to get deep into what is it that is hindering us? What is it that is bothering us? I just want to let go. And we all, not only that, but we also have to nurture that, because that is also part of us. So that was such a fun episode. And this group, I can talk to you all on and on and on, but as we wrap up tonight, I want to say, remember, real growth starts beneath the surface. As we mentioned throughout this entire episode, when we nurture ourselves intentionally, we strengthen that root. And when the root is healthy, branching out, which is what the season is about, becomes natural. So we'd like to close with our acknowledgements to, of course, thank our INC radio station manager, Brother Wally Taray, our Deputy Executive Minister, Brother Angelo Iranio B. Manalo, and our Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo B. Manalo. Thank you so much to all of our panelists, our listeners, and everyone that has tuned in live or even rewatching. This has been Valley Grown, presented by INC Radio, Central Valley, California. We'll see you again next week. Thank you so much, everybody, and we'll see you. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Happy New Year!
Don't forget to like, please.
Yes, our Valley Grown.
Happy New Year.
Thank you, Great Tech.